Hey guys, as promised, here I am again, designed with the third-person template open. Just one little thing about the last video. The process got simplified. Now you only have to run nimble setup. The bindings will be auto-generated, and then the game will be compiled as well, so there is no need for restarting the editor. I put a comment on the video, and I also updated the instructions on the Nim template. So it should be just more easy now. So here I am with the third-person template, right? This is my character here, right? I wanted to just cover a little bit of how uClasses work, but just in a basic manner. You can even implement interfaces, and we are going to cover that in future videos. But for now, to keep it short, I'm just going to go over the specifics on the plugin, and show you just a little bit how the HotReloading works. I will do also another video on HotReloading. So we have here the uClass macro that we use to instantiate a character. They work like if they were like regular classes. Then we have the uprops. The uprops has works as they do in regular and real in CPP. Here, if you have like a uprop that has multiple values, you can use it to specify multiple fields that are going to be with the same meta properties, right? Like here, we have the default mapping context that we have, but it is of this input mapping context pointer, and then we have here multiple input actions that will also use these uprops from here. Another thing is there is a special syntax for like using parentheses, and if you put multiple variables of the same type there, you can just declare all of that in one go. It's kind of reduce the boilerplate rate a little bit. Another thing specific to NimForUE is that you can declare default components and also use the attach meta to say, for example, this follow camera will be attached to the camera boom. If we go here, we will see we have the follow camera attached to the camera boom on the sprint endpoint, which is a specific socket that the camera boom has. That's specific to the plugin itself. And then what else? The U properties can have also default values. I will show you now. That like here we don't have like anything specific to we don't have anything specific to that we can set a value, because they are kind of pointers, but we could do something like, I don't know, test string. So we can, for example, if we have this test string, we can, for example, assign a value here, test value, right? Let me recompile this. And it will pick the value, right? It will be the default value that will be set into the CDO. So if we go now into input, we will see here this test value here, right? Updated. Also, we can put things like self, get name, for example. And what this will do is it will inject the HT in data syntax tree into the class constructor on the CPP side of things, and we'll call that function on the constructor, right? On the real constructor. I don't want to go too deep over it. But yeah, as you can see here, it has the CDO, right? The CDO name, which is default by default in Unreal. So you can access to self and execute arbitrary functions from here. In some cases, though, you will want to initialize other values, like for example, here the capture component has like this capture radius. So for doing that, we have this default helper here, I guess, that you don't have to specify like self, and you can do the capture component dot capture radius and set the value here. And of course, if you outdated it here, it will be automatically outdated in the editor too, right? So there is capture radius here set to 42, which is the previous value. And if we look at it now, it says to 90, right? So this is magnificent. Right, and also you can access all the name suggests is a little bit slow. It will be faster, but it understands the macros, so you don't have to do something like special in order to access to those things in there, like character movement, right? It knows that this is referring to the character movement that live in a character into the engine, so you can access to it. Furthermore, you need to specify self in order to do that, but since this default is auto injecting self for you here, it's also notice that, and you can use it as you will expect, right? That's for the default constructor. For the default constructor can also be a constructor if you have to like specify let or other things that you want to run. You can also specify it like in here. For example, here we are using the class finder that the third-person template uses in CPP. In order to do that, we have to use this special constructor, which is not like exactly the class constructor, and again I will talk about it in another video, but this is a special field that uClasses has, which is essentially a pointer to a function with this signature, right? And we are injecting that for you. So this runs when every instance of this in-game mode is instanced or constructed, right? Similar to a constructor, but it's not exactly a CPP constructor. And then, it's here you can access to everything, right? You can access to the object initializer, which is, if you're familiar with CPP, it's what you will use to create the components, the default subobject, and all of that in the component here. And it is what we are doing actually when you use the default component here. It will, under the covers, call that for you, right? And then we have ufunctions. You can define in the same way. If you specify a meta for a ufunction, you can share it with all of them. Also, you can like create another block in here. For example, ufuncs. You can call them ufunctions if you want to. It has set that name to proc test video, I will say, and this will return a string. Hello world, right? Yeah, we are going to now to this to here. You will see that this video should be here. No, it's not here because I forgot to do blueprint callable, right? Not that one. That one compile. This one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, of course you can change like the signature. and it will be outdated too, without restarting the editor. I mean, now with like coding, you can do that too. It got outdated in CPP on Windows, but on Mac there is no like coding. When we have support for Linux, there is no like coding on Linux. Also, this is faster than like coding, and I think more reliable. But I'm not totally sure. I mean, I don't have proof to show you right now about it. And the rest of this, I will be cutting the videos now, but the rest of this is just what we will expect for the third-person template to have. There is a mix here between the function that we are using, between the CPP functions that there are on the third-person template and the Blueprint implementation. Usually, everything that you can do in Blueprint, you can do here, and you can also do specific things that you can't do in Blueprint. Like for example, this make class finder. I will do a specific video about bindings and how you can even do your own bindings, but just for now, every time that you create something in CPP, and you expose like let's say that I have a character on CPP named character base, and I create a function. When I restart the editor, the function will be available in Nim for being called, but only if that function is a U function. And also probably you need to have the Blueprint specifier too, but that's only temporary. There are modules that we import as only Blueprint, and other modules we import everything. But again, that's a topic for another video. One more thing about it though is that if you install like a plugin, the bindings will automatically detect it. And you will have the Nim code to access to the plugin functions that the creators posted from CPP2. So that's super handy. Okay, so this is the video. See you on the next one.